So, before we start today, I want to tell you a little story about something that happened to me just recently that scared the crap out of me. I mean, absolutely scared the bejesus out of me. So, in the middle of September of 2021, my brother, his wife, my mom, and myself all went to Vegas for the weekend. Had an amazing time. It was absolutely incredible and stuff. My brother paid for everything, which was even better. But anyhow, just had an amazing time. Like nothing was happening or anything. So, about a month and a half later, roughly the beginning of September, probably the first week of September, my brother's face just swelled up. I mean, to the size of a grapefruit. I mean, just swelled up. It got so bad that it was closing his right eye, and he had to get off the road because he's a truck driver and kind of need both eyes. And so he went to dentists. They all put him on antibiotics, tried to get the swelling down so they could see what was going on, and so forth. Well, about a month and a half later, on December 23rd, he was admitted to the hospital. And on the 23rd of January of 2022, he passed away. It would appear he had stage 4 of throat cancer. Well, he chose not to tell me or my mother or my sister about this, stage 4 throat cancer that he had. He knew better than to tell me about having, throat cancer. Because being a prostate cancer survivor myself, I would have told him, no, I probably would have demanded that he go and seek the treatment. I would have hounded him until the end of time. Anyhow, so, well, now we're going to fast forward to about, it was October. It was late October. All of a sudden, I woke up and my face was swollen. Not like a grapefruit, but like more like a lime. It was a swollen right in here. And so, of course, Mark gets the panics and freaks out. And so I said, screw the dentist. I'm going straight to the ER because, if my brother had done that, he might still be here. So anyhow, I went to the ER and they did every kind of test under the sun. And they said, oh no, it's definitely, a problem around here. So I'm like, okay. So I went to the dentist, they gave me antibiotics and it took the swelling down. And come to find out, when they had pulled my wisdom teeth out about 10 years ago, I guess, they had, the wisdom teeth had impacted the back molars. So there was a hole there and the dentist had put a filling in the hole back there. He was very proud of himself. I mean, every time I went to see him after that, he would always, look at his handiwork back there. Anyways, that had come out and it exposed a nerve and it caused my face to swell up. So needless to say, I had the crap scared out of me. So anyways, okay, so today we're going to talk about what would happen if a family member found out you were ABDL or a DL, basically finding your diapers or pacifiers or onesies or something of that nature. This, of course, will mostly surround parents. So you're living back with your parents or you never left the house, whatever your reasons are for still living at home as an adult. You're there, whatever the reason is. Your mother decides she's going to be nice and do your laundry. But the niceness doesn't stop there. She does your laundry, she folds it, she puts your clothes in the drawer. She hangs up some stuff, on a hanger and then opens your closet door. And while she's hanging up your hanging clothes, she looks down and sees that there is a bag of diapers there. Of course, mothers being mothers, she immediately goes to the worst case scenario of things. Oh my God, are they dying? You come home from whatever it was you were doing, and you're confronted by mother who is sitting there with the diapers sitting in front of her, wondering what they're for. You can tell she's a little concerned, yet also a little PO'd. And of course, at this point, you're understanding the upset and the PO factor because you felt like your privacy had just been invaded, like you're just, taken advantage of. I think this is a lot of scenarios that a lot of people within the ABDL, DL, age regressors, I think this is a scenario that a lot of them are scared to death of having. So this is what I think you should do. Now, remember, this is my opinion, and this isn't the gospel according to Mark. You have to do what fits you, not what fits me. But this is what I think you should do. First, remember, tempers are flaring. You're pissed off because she invaded your privacy. She's upset because she found diapers in your room or pacifier or whatever it was that she found. So you're both on edge. So I would tell her, Mom, I want to talk to you about this, but not right now. And if she persists, just say, not right now. And if you have to leave the house or go to your room or something, go somewhere where both tempers can cool down. And that way, when you do start to talk, you can have a more civil conversation. Because you know how it goes when you're mad, when your temper is flaring out, you sometimes say things you don't mean to say. So you both need to separate, cool down, and come back later when you're both have had a chance to cool down and relax. Not saying it's always going to happen. Not saying she's not going to be persistent and expect you to talk to her right then and follow you wherever you go and stuff. I'm not saying she's not going to do that. I'm just saying that in this scenario, we're just going to say she walks away. Plus, this gives you a chance to get all of your ducks in a row about what you're going to say and how you're going to say it, and maybe look for some resources and so forth. It gives you a chance to get all those ducks in a row. Okay, so it's time for you to have the talk. You can't avoid it anymore. You're going to be living under the same roof. You need to have that conversation. It's very important that you approach this situation with transparency and honesty. Assure her that she's got a lot of questions and you have no problem answering them, but right now you just need her to sit and listen to you. Now, if your mother's like my mother, she will keep interrupting you while you are trying to tell her about it. It's annoying as hell. Absolutely is annoying as hell. There's times I've had to stop my mother before and say, I'm sorry that the middle of my sentence cut off the beginning of yours. So, you need to be assertive when you tell her to listen to what you have to say. You're an adult. She needs to respect that and realize you have stuff to say too. Be assertive. And to be honest with you, you may need to just get up and walk away for a few days because you might just be sitting there talking, interrupting. You might have to just get up and walk away, which is perfectly fine. You need time to express yourself. If she's not going to listen, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your breath. You might as well just walk away. But for this scenario, let's say she does sit down, zips her lips, and listens. First, I would explain to her what ABDL and DL is and what it means to you. Make sure to let her know that it could be a phase, could be a fad, a trend, a personal choice, or just the way you are. You can't say, because they'll always try to put it in, oh, it's just a phase. Well, to me, it never was a phase. That is one hell of a long phase, but let her know that it's something you're currently into and it's something that should really cause no concern. Communication is key in any relationship, and whether it be friends, lovers, or family, or otherwise. Communication is always key. Encourage her after you're done talking to her about it, what it is, what it means to you. Encourage her to ask questions. Allow her to express her concerns. It's time for you to zip and listen. There might be times when you just want to get up and say, Mom, I'm not a freaking freak. That might come. Be patient with her and be understanding of her concerns. What her concerns are, they may not seem important to you, but they're important to her. Remember, you may be an adult, but in her eyes, you are still her infant or toddler. You're never going to get out of that phase. So you might as well just give up. So try to address her concerns with empathy. Be respectful about it. Don't tell her she's jumped to conclusions or anything. Just understand it and address them. Provide her with educational resources. Provide her with some links that she can go to online to read up about it. Make sure you're giving them to her, because if you don't, you know what happens when they type in, what is ABDL? There's a good possibility they're going to get some blogs that are nothing but hate. So make sure you're the one giving her the links to it. Establish boundaries. Make it clear that though you love her and have the utmost respect for her, there are aspects of your life and lifestyle that you are comfortable talking about, and that there are parts of it that you prefer remain private. And as always, because parents love to play the victim card. They love to play the victim card. Oh, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? Prepare yourself for that. There's really nothing you can tell them to deflect that. It's kind of like the guilt trip thing. She's also going to have her concerns about safety. Oh, I don't want to find you laying on in the ditch somewhere. Or that was always my dad's big thing, was find you laying in a ditch somewhere someday. It was always the ditch with him. I don't understand. I don't understand. We didn't even have any ditches, or well, I guess we did at the end of the line there. I guess we did. But yeah, he always thought I was going to end up dead in a ditch somewhere. She will fear for your safety and will think that because you're ABDL, people are going to be out to hurt you. Let her know that this is a justified concern, and that's why you're very careful with who you share this with, and let her know that safety is always at the forefront of your mind. You're always being safe, whether it be sexual or non-sexual. You're being safe at all times. And you can lay a little guilt trip on there if you want. Tell her that's why I'm looking for your understanding and hopefully your acceptance, because you want home to be the one place is a safe place for you. Just a little guilt trip, nothing too severe. When it comes to guilt trips, as they say, all's fair in love and war. Reassure her that within the ABDL community, we prioritize these aspects, emphasize the importance of responsible and consensual behavior within the ABDL/DL communities. Also, you may want to remind her that there are bad people in every community, and ABDL is no different. But if communications break down, ask her if she would consider you both involving a mental health professional. If a mental health professional is worth their weight in salt, which is, I guess, what they used to say a couple hundred years ago, they will provide a safe space for you both to express your concerns. And again, if the therapist is worth their weight in salt, they'll reassure your mother that there is nothing mentally wrong with you. But the most important part, I feel, is to be completely honest about what ABDL or DL or age regressing means to you. Either way, it's a conversation that most ABDLs and DLs would prefer not to have, but will possibly at one day need to have that conversation. Always remember, you are who you are, and there is nothing wrong with you. People are going to accept you, and people are not going to accept you. That's reality. Only person you can control is you. And while you get your ducks in a row, I would highly recommend you find an online chat or forum that you can express yourself and ask questions. Maybe I can pretty much guarantee you there is somebody in a ABDL community chat or forum or something of that nature that has went through the exact same thing and can probably give you advice on what they did. And you get so many people giving you advice, everybody just piling on their little piece of the pie, and you start focusing and start pulling this out and pulling that out, and next thing you know, you have your own scenario to go into battle with. We're there with you. Maybe not there in person, but in spirit, we're there. Anyhow, so thank you for watching. Thank you for being patient while I went through my scare factor. Subscribe, like, share the video, and until the next time, stay little, stay happy.